Hello and welcome to the session on releasing old baggage. Thank you for being here. I'm just sending you all so much love, even though I cannot connect with you real time. Um, just let's do a quick walkthrough of what you can expect through this session. My intention is for us to start with um, presencing our intentions and acknowledging what is it that's being called to be released. We're now in the energy of the full moon in Scorpio, which is so much about releasing and clearing and going so deep. And perhaps that feels true to you, which is why you felt called to be here. I have lots of chills as I say that. Ooh. Um, and so as we acknowledge and presence those intentions around what we want to release baggage around, we're going to make way to download our next step, find meaning and purpose in whatever is happening right now and whatever wants to happen next. The way I intend to do this is we'll do a mix of being in meditation and tuning into our inner world. I plan to open up the Akashic Records, the energy of our soul and soul's history, and the place where a lot of agreements and contracts and vows that we decided in this lifetime and many lifetimes before, if you believe in that. Um, it's a place where you can really reconnect and reassess, is that really still true for me? Do I still want to agree to that plan? It's a place where you can reconnect to your plan for this lifetime as well. Very powerful and knowledgeable space, if I can call it that. There's so much wisdom in there. And so it's also a place where if we are releasing old stories, I love to do it at the Akashic record level, for it may be tied to a younger version of you more often than not, and may also be connected to a past life version of you, is the thread I often see with clients. So and we will journal in between as we are prompted to capture whatever we're receiving personally in our experience of this practice, this meditation, this ritual, this journey, this experience. I think all of these words can be true for what we're about to do. And I'll guide us through a process to download our next step. Um, and then my caveat is, just like all channel sessions, I can only structure this so much at the start. I do have the intention for this to run for about an hour. So within that time frame, I'll stay within that as much as possible. But once this recording is complete, I can add more of a descriptor of what you can expect for all of you tuning into the replay. I'm going to now give you all a couple of minutes, which is just you really pausing me to get your supplies. I recommend some paper or a journal to do some writing and journaling and processing. I also recommend some water. There's a really big nudge to have water for this ritual. As someone personally who tends to underhydrate, I am equipped with my water here. And I have pen, I have some paper. I also have some crystals that I intuitively chose. Lots of selenite wanted to come through, some tiger's eye. You absolutely do not need to stick to these crystals. I'm checking in with the guide. This is not prescriptive. Choose what feels right for you. Some of you may have baggage you want to clear around speaking up or communicating. Any blue hued crystal, if you have one of those, is something you can bring in. And I'm even hearing it doesn't have to be a crystal, it can even be an object that has meaning and feels important to you. Again, lots of chills. Like it might be a paperweight or something else that is shiny and sparkly. Maybe it's some jewelry. Whatever feels right to you, just trust that. Maybe you look around your room as you settle into your space and something catches your eye. Bring that in. Maybe it has energy that wants to be cleared or energy it wants to bring through for you. So, with that, I'll give you all a minute or so here, and feel free to pause me if you need longer to settle. Now is also a good time to make sure that you can be in this quiet space for about an hour or so, no interruptions. That means, making sure your dog is settled outside or your family is clear, that no interruptions for the next hour, or putting your phone on silent. Maybe it might be true that you're like, actually, now feels like I'm distracted and I need to come back to it. I'm just checking, and it feels important that we do this continuously, like in one sitting, for there's work to be done. And they don't want you to do this in parts where you just do the clearing and then don't appreciate the space that you've created to receive. So, um, that's what I'm hearing from the guides. It's not necessarily how I always structure my sessions. So, with all of that, I'll give you time, slash pause me, as you get ready. All right. So I trust that you have your journal handy. Um, and I'm hearing from the guides how it's important that we are not doing this digitally on paper. Is good. We can let more emotion through our physical body in that way. Okay. All right. So let's start by using your journal to really set your intention. What is it that you're here to release old baggage around? Ask yourself that question, and I'm going to write alongside with you. What is it that you're ready to release old baggage around? Maybe, and I'm going to just share a few ideas and prompts to get the juices flowing for you. If it feels like so much, like start to think about an incident or a pattern that's been coming up. This was my nudge and inspiration, is talking with someone close to me. There's been a lot of like swirling and repeated thoughts and looping and questioning and doubting that's come up in these conversations related to a career change, a job change. And I've been really feeling the call to help this person release this old baggage. And even for me personally, I am really at this precipice, almost is the word that I want to say, where so often I get to this point where I build momentum in my business and then life starts lifing a lot. And what I mean by that is, like, I get too busy with work and life responsibilities and other stressors. All of these start to coincide. And to me, then the business is the easiest thing that I can slow down because it's so much in my control. And that's the old habit. And I'm really done with that, which is also me showing up with you all, which I'm very grateful for. So that's really my old baggage. It could be around your career, it could be around money, stability. Like, what is an old story around stability and safety that you've been saying for a long time? It must look like this, and it has to happen this way. It's a story that you tell yourself that feels so true, but you're also so tired of it being true. That's the kind of story, that's the kind of baggage that we're here to clear. So I'll give us all a few minutes while we reflect on that. I trust that if you're here, you've come in with clarity there. And if you're not very clear, if you just have this heaviness and stuckness and you're not quite sure how to move forward, um, whether it be in one area of your life or multiple, I'm hearing that is also something to acknowledge and put into writing. Okay, so let's write now. As we have taken a couple of minutes to write, and if you feel like you're on a roll, feel free to pause me and keep writing. But my intention and our guide's intention around writing all this is to capture at the start what is the baggage that you're here to clear? What is the story? What is the feeling? It may come through in a few lines or multiple. And notice it's just how can you be so observant of this, not to question or doubt the story, but really, hey, that's what's coming up right now. And I want you to just for yourself, kind of a self-assessment on a scale of 1 to 10, like how stressful, how weighty, how heavy does the story feel to you? This baggage. It might even just be a situation that you're in that is feeling particularly oof, to you. I don't have words. It's a sensation that I'm getting. It could be a 7, it could be a 10, it may be off the charts, it may be low. For me, yeah, I think I'd put myself at a 9. Just taking a moment to, if you're in a place to put your hand on your heart, your left hand on your heart, if that feels accessible, and know that everything I say and ask you to do is really an invitation. If something doesn't feel right or feels like too much, trust that and listen to that. We don't go beyond the speed of our body and all our key parts that want to come to the surface. Let's take a moment to acknowledge and thank yourself for being here. It is a brave step to slow down and be present with these thoughts, with these feelings, with these stories, with this kind of pain. It's so much easier. So many of us bypass the step and numb ourselves, distract ourselves, and getting so many chills as I say that. And you are doing the brave, hard work of being here and acknowledging this. And that itself is such a powerful step to heal and to clear and to process this, to make this make sense for you, to integrate its meaning, but also to let go of the heaviness of it all. To thank you and thank yourself for that. All right. And so, with that, now that we've captured what we want to release, we've given it a number just to self assess where we're at right now. I invite us now to step into this meditative space together. Now's a good time if you need a quick bio break or sip of water, do that right now. And I'm just going to get ourselves set up for meditating and opening up the records to clear and release. Okay, so I trust that you're in a space where you're ready. I'm pulling up my Akashic Record prayer, which is really a set of lines that help me create trust to connect the records. It creates a lovely ritual. And I hope that it is helpful for you to attune to the records as well. It's always a powerful journey and experience for me and the clients I take along with me, energetically speaking, of course. Okay, I'm feeling like we're ready to settle down and call our higher power, our guides. And whenever I say guides, feel free to replace with whatever feels right for you as a higher power that you name. Something beyond us. I actually like to use the term unseen power even more than higher power, because we all are fractals of, whatever you might call the universe or God or source. We all have different words we relate to better. I cannot speak to them all. I trust that you are powerful and you can replace that unseen power language with what feels right for you. So let's take a moment now to settle into your space. closing your eyes if that feels accessible or keeping a gentle gaze. Know that this would probably be about 5-7 minutes of meditating. And when I open up the records, I'll let you know that I'm doing so. And as I channel at that point, you're welcome to keep your eyes open or closed. Trust whatever feels good to you. And know that as I channel, if you're getting your own messages, unique and different from what I am saying, you can always pause me and receive for yourself and then keep my voice going. This is very much shaped for you, and you can also control the energy in many ways. So trust that and allow that. Be in your experience around that. Okay, so let's all take a deep breath now, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Notice where that felt harder to do. Maybe it felt harder to expand your belly or your chest or your back or your shoulders. Just bring a little bit more movement into these parts of you. Maybe it's even your hips, your legs, and just gently bringing in some movement here. And whenever you've done that, we'll breathe 2 more times in through your nose and out through your mouth. Notice if that created a shift. I felt a difference between my first deep inhale, exhale to my second and last deep breath together here. We can do so much and be so much when we connect to our breath and connect to our physicality. So thank you for receiving and being so deeply here. Let's imagine that we are all encircled in this lovely, beautiful forest. Just like a painter, you get to picture and visualize beautiful green grass in this clearing, surrounded by so many tall trees, and there's a cool breeze blowing gently across your skin. You do not need to anchor to visuals if that feels harder for you. Just allow for the sensations to come up as I describe the space, and allow your body to build on that with its own sensations. As I'm sitting here with you all encircled in this clearing in the forest, I look up to the sky that has this deep blue shade spread throughout, and misty clouds as well, tickled by the tops of the trees almost touching the sky. And the trees are sending so much grounding, so much rooting. It almost feels as if we are all connected to the trees behind us. And allow for yourself to lean back ever so slightly on a tree behind you, perfectly ensconcing you, cradling you in its span, and feeling its roots beneath you. It doesn't feel like it hurts you, it feels like a gentle caress. And know that your own energetic rooting can pipe through and connect deeply through these tree roots that reach deep and far, connecting all of our energies together. It feels important to allow for that, to trust and allow whatever extent of that feels right for you. For all those receiving, watching, and connecting across space and time to this session that we are embarking on, to release old baggage, to make space and clear room to receive what's next for us. The trees are almost nodding in unison, acknowledging our intentions and comforting us that we are so supported. Take a moment now to breathe deeply and receive this grounding, rooting, supportive energy all around us. And from the space of so much connectedness, we will tap into the Akashic Records to see in what manner we will be asked to release baggage in this powerful collective space. And with that, I'll say the Akashic Record prayer now. Of the light we see all around us, trust that you can connect deeply within, trust that you can connect deeply throughout, and trust that you can connect deeply above and below. This is the path to connect to the space above, the ground below, and all the energy and beings that you channel through at this time. This is the way, this is the space, this is the energy that you feel. Trust and connect and let it all be revealed. Set aside yourself, set aside your doubts, set aside any concern. Let yourself feel the energy of unconditional love. This is the magic. This is the beauty. This is the essence of the records. Trust that you are within them, part of them, one with them now and always and forevermore. Say this prayer and all will be revealed, past, now, and all future possibilities. Say this prayer, say these words, and trust that you are delivered to the doorstep to love, deep connection of knowing and understanding who you truly are. This is the space. Welcome. The Akashic Records are now open. And let's take a breath here to truly attune to the space with all parts of us. Ooh. I have so many chills as we're here. And take your time. There is no rush. You are here. You can continue to be here. It almost feels like we're all just basking in the magnificence and the love that is this energy here. Okay, let me see how the guides wish for us to walk through our process. So I'm seeing a mix of us either closing our eyes and tuning within or keeping our eyes open. But we're all marching as this big group in what looks like the Akashic Record Hall. It feels very tall, very wide, some gold there somewhere. But what strikes me the most about the visual is the height of this hallway. I feel like there's even more light off in the distance, but we're all just like making our way through this hallway and then turning right. Interesting. I'm just curious about where we are headed. My ear is starting to ring. Let me see where we take our steps towards, and I'll take a sip of water as I keep tuning in. Know that if you need to, you're always welcome to use your journal. If you get some downloads, maybe it helps for you to keep writing. If you're neurodivergent like me and need to fidget or do something, be your journal, be your friend. I'm also holding my bracelet to also help me stay grounded as we connect. Okay, so all right, so we are definitely in a hallway with a lot of shells. I'm like, here's the hallway, and then I can see as if I'm at a height almost or distance. There are multiple rows of books, and I'm feeling this call from me. It feels like, yeah. All right, everyone go and find your book. Everyone go and find your place. I feel like everyone knows where to go. So I'm hearing like, trust that you have it. Excuse me. And everyone's just like scattered around, flipping through books and looking. And so I'm just checking in with the guides, like, what is it that people can practically do to tune into that? Like, do they need to do anything? Not really. I can hear the flipping paper. And perhaps you can tune into that more specifically for yourself. But the guide said they say there's no pressure to, like, this process will unfold of its own accord. Um, but I'm looking around, I can see everyone flipping through books, and like I can hear gas and oh wow, and it's like, oh, it's there's like an energy of excitement, like, oh, we get to be here, and I'm covered with chills. And mm, it reminds me of this energy of like a detective in a mystery novel, and how like we're getting to the place, the cause, the root cause, the source of it all. And I'm hearing the guides also caution and say, do not put so much pressure on this one thing that will unravel everything from there, but to trust that by doing this with so much love and intention, that is the most important thing. Can you hold the energy of love and intention as we do this? That is the key. The key is, how can you bring love and intentionality to this ritual, this story, this healing, this path, this purpose of why you're here. All right. So I feel like I'm starting to hear the flipping slow down. And so many people have found a page. Um, Again, I want to reassure you all, because I feel questions coming up of like, but how do I know this is the right page? And the guides are like, we're here, we're looking over your shoulder, we're helping you find the page. I have chills down my arms as I say that. Like, it's okay. Know that not everything needs to be consciously known. It's again back to love and intention. You know what you want to clear or release, you know the area, you know the topic, you know something even deeper. And between that and your and their, meaning you and your guides or unseen powers, love and intentionality is all that suffices to make this happen. I'm starting to see people pointing at specific sections and pages in a book. And so, how do you want us to proceed over here? Like, everyone has a place. I'm hearing the guide say everyone has a place they know, like, that's the cause, that's the root cause. This is what's been triggering these looping thoughts. This is what's been creating the doubt. It was this incident, it was this pain, it was this trauma, it was this big significant moment internally. It may not always have looked like that externally. And I'm hearing the guides like, now is a good time to take out your journal and start to write down, like, what was that time? Um, what you're writing is, what was the time that you started to think in this way? And I'm also starting to write down as I'm sitting with that question. They're saying it may be a specific age, it might be a time in your life. Maybe it's always felt this way, where people showed up in this way and it was troubling for you. Maybe this, whether it might be, what is the emotional state that you think is the baggage? It's like, I don't have enough, or things are so uncertain, or I don't have time, I don't have fill in the blank, or I wish I had, and I wish I was fill in the blank. And so they're saying take a few minutes now. I'll give us about 2, 3 minutes to write down, when do you think that started? And trust that in the space you will get some more clarity. Just free flow, right? Right. Almost at the 2-minute mark. I'll give us a little bit more time and know that you can always pause me if you need to keep going. But trusting that you are in a place where you were able to thread back to a time, and I'm hearing it could be recent, it could be a long time ago, it could be even before, but they're saying whatever feels heavy is often a repeating pattern, and so it's likely to have shown up multiple times. And whichever time you pick is good enough for right now. Ooh, more chills. Okay. All right. So, what are we doing? Are we starting to rip out pages from the book? Are we erasing it? What are we doing? Give me a moment while I check in with them. So I'm seeing us all, I was starting to see this earlier, like rip out pages, but I feel like we're also placing in new pages, which is cool. So maybe you can all take a moment and just feel like, oh, I'm ripping a paper out of a book. I know some of us take care of our books with a lot of love, and this might feel hard to do with a lovely bound book that I'm seeing for everyone here. But trust that you can energetically heal and repair. So we're going to rip out this page that no longer serves us. I'm doing that for myself, for the person that I've been also bringing intentionally into this space and their energy, ripping that out. And then magically, you have a blank sheet of paper given to you by your guides, and you're just inserting it back into the book. And as if by magic, it's starting to meld into the ripped, jagged edge of the book, and it just seals itself in. Ooh, I have chills. It seals itself in. And so, just like that, you have this clean sheet, clean slate, clean page. All of the words came in at once. And we get to write a new story in here. Okay. And I'm just taking a moment to check in and make sure everyone has been able to do that. I'm feeling some resistance in one corner of the room. And if that feels like you're having a hard time with the ripping out, I'm just sending you a lot of love. In fact, I'm giving you some kind of rose quartz um, gift. Feels like a heart. And just you using it just like a resource, like, okay, I think I can do it. And I hear a rip. And you're like, huh, that wasn't too hard. Okay. And I'm hearing the sealing in of a new sheet of paper. So it feels like who all of us, we are complete with that process. And just thanking you for doing that, for it is not easy to let go of an old story, an old. That's the number of times they said it. Old narrative and baggage. And just like that, we ripped it out. Okay. And so I'm hearing like we're all getting pens. It might look like a quill, a pen, something else, but you have some writing instrument by which you are able to write a new chapter, a new story in. They're like, don't worry about the length of the page. This can grow. It's magical. It's healing. Um, and so are we going to journal about what is it that we want to say? Okay. So inviting you all to now trust that that energy will be held for us and we can go into our journals and write. And let's see, how do we want to write? What are some prompts from the guides such that we can write a new story here? Is it about what we would have liked the time to be like, or I'm not getting a yes for that? Okay. Writing the story in the present is very important, is what I'm hearing. Okay. So, how is that story different this time? How is that story different this time? And what I think the guides mean by that is I'm channeling what they're saying. It's how are you different now? Are you more resourceful? Are you clearer? Do you have more support around you? You are older. You are um, more boundaried, more aware. What are those qualities about you that would make the story different this time? And let yourself, just like before, free flow right. I'll again give you a few minutes, about 2, 3, to free flow right. How is the story different this time around? And what qualities, what is it that you know or can do or can be such that it is different this time? All right. Um, I started to slow down. And again, as always, know that you can slow me down, pause me, and like keep adding to your records, your page that can multiply into more pages. And trust that your quill or writing instrument will keep writing what you have. I'm just feeling nudged to keep going slow as you're all finishing up. And I can start to see people's heads pop up as they're done. And I just feel a shift. Like there's a glow, there's like, oh, things can actually be different. I feel this spark from everyone. And so I'm inviting us all to just energetically connect to one another and like receive the gratitude for it's your collective energy, your energy tapping into others and being willing to journey here that is making this so much more accessible for us all. So I thank you for receiving and thank you again for the brave step. And take a moment to send each other so much love, to have ripped out the old and sealed in the new. And just know that whatever you've written in, it's only going to grow from here. It's only going to build from here. Where you've written in a new chapter, a new story, a new paragraph. It doesn't matter how long. It only matters that you trust and believe that you have made that shift. That's what is the power of this ritual that we're doing together, as the guides are saying. So take a moment to thank yourself again. Mm, and now I'm just going to ask for more guidance on where do we go from here. Okay, so I think we're all closing up our books and putting it away. Mm, okay, so I just wrote down some more that was coming as I did that. Okay, I think everyone feels like they're complete. So are we exiting the Akashic Record hallway now? Not quite. Okay. I feel like everyone got a slip of paper, almost like a post-it, or if someone had to relay a quick message. We've all got a note. So I'm going to invite us all to go back to our journal to respond, I think, with a answer to a prompt from the guides. Like, from all that you wrote in, what is one next step that you can do next to reinforce the work you just did? Because even doing this work is a decision. It's a powerful, powerful decision. I mean, what we mean by really talking as the guides, what we mean by reinforcing the work is that in this point in time where how is that story going to be different? You probably wrote a bit about how circumstances are different, or more likely how you are different, your qualities, your energy, or support systems, or things you can do. The guides are asking us like, let's intuit, let's channel, let's see. I'm going to guide us all back into meditation. So put down your pen or instrument of choice and close your eyes. We're all connected in this Akashic record space. We've actually come all to the hallway itself rather than being in our respective aisles. And we're all just tapping in, feeling into the card in our hand. Maybe you're able to look at your hand and see something. Maybe you can feel a sensation in a certain part of your body. Let's see how the guides wish for us to tune into this information. So I'm actually feeling like we all are moving forward in the hallway, like a door opened up at the end and we're all filing through it. Um, and I feel like on the other side, there's grass and it's sunny and people are jumping and doing cartwheels. And it feels very like there's this energy of play, just so much play. That's how it feels like to me. And from this, I can feel like there's some of us who are all doing like holding hands and going around in a circle and having fun. It's really cute. Maybe you can feel how uplifted you are. Maybe it feels like, oh, and I'm getting a message for us all. So let me tap into that. Mm, yeah, they're saying we all did such big, powerful work to clear our energy fields, clear our Akashic record stories around this. And what it's important to fill that and reinforce that. What's one step that will reinforce the work? I'm realizing the card was a card. It did not have a task or item for us to do, but it's really how can you be with the openness and play for a bit? Like play. Playing means seeing all possibilities. Playing means running around aimlessly for a bit. Play is what fuels you and fills your cup when you've emptied it out for with what feels like sludge and things that have felt heavy for a long time. Can you let your soul play even for a little bit now? And I just am covered in chills, and I will say some parts of me are like, oh wow, yeah, that makes so much sense. And other parts of me are like, well, I would have liked a practical next step. And they saying the practical next step will come. Will it come in the space or after? I'm hearing it's not now for sure. Because we want to be in the likeness when we start to get this next step of, oh, we have to do this, there's pressure, there's urgency. And they're saying it's not the energy to bring in right now, not just yet. Can you just play for a little bit? So I'm hearing the guides like, can you visualize or feel in your body yourself running around, maybe dancing, maybe finding somebody to spin around with? Maybe you're conjured up the playground and you're going down a slide. Maybe one of you is climbing up a tree. It feels very magical, and I'm covered in chills as I feel it. It's really fun. I just want us all to really, how much ever you can access it, can you capture and feel this energy and frequency of play? I'm sending us all this burst of play energy and asking your guides, really, I think the next step is to infuse that energy of play. The next time you start to feel pressure or heaviness, can you remember and recall this moment of play and lightness too? Even in the midst of what might feel very heavy and difficult, you could feel this lightness of play too. It just wants to make me smile and feel happy with you all. I hope that feels accessible to you. I don't want to rush you if this feels too much too soon. And if that feels like that's true for you, you don't have to go there. I'm hearing the guides say you can always come back. When you start to feel a little lighter the next day or the day after, then you can come back to this part. It doesn't have to be perfect and linear, it just has to be right for you. Okay, and so with that, I'm feeling like we are getting to the close of our ritual. So I'm going to invite us all to take another deep breath here as we are saying goodbye to our new friends energetically, saying goodbye to the space, knowing that we can always tap back into this field of play as it feels like, taking our respective cards and slotting it into our pockets, even if imaginary, and saying, like, your next step will emerge. Please trust that. And feeling like we're all coming back into our bodies even more energetically now. I invite you to close your eyes and feel your feet on the floor or surface you might be on. Feeling your energy start to drop back out of the records and into your body. And as you do so, I'm going to say a few lines to close out the Akashic Records. You can keep your eyes closed and give gratitude to your unseen power, your guides in the space as we complete this ritual. I thank the magic of the space. I thank all the energies and beings that I channel here at this time. I give gratitude to everything that came through. The records are now closed, the records are now closed, the records are now closed. And so it is with love and gratitude. Thank you. Huh. All right. So that was an interesting conclusion. I did not anticipate that myself. And like I had said before, can not predict where all this energy will go. So I am just sitting with that and trusting that sometimes the unseen magical things can translate into the practical reality that we also desire. But why not enjoy the unseen magic that we can experience together as we did today? So, I invite you now to write any other takeaways or messages that you may have received, anything else that you observed, other messages you channeled for yourself. Maybe you want to linger here in the space for a few more moments. Whatever feels good to you, allow yourself to do that. I'm just taking one more deep breath with you to seal this container and thank you for doing this work. Thank you for releasing what wanted to be released. Take a moment now, breathe deeply into your body. And with your exhale, letting your energy feel let go of anything that no longer serves you. Shake it all off. It goes down your grounding roots, all around you, just like dust, a powder that's scattered all around. And the earth that's so intelligent can receive it, absorb it, and let go of it for you. And allowing you to receive, inviting you to receive so much light and gratitude and positive, playful emotions from your unseen power up above and all around you. And lastly, creating bubbles of protection and dissolving any cords that we may have created between us all. If it feels like there were energy cords amongst us, just letting them dissolve and fall away or disappear, and allowing our energies to be contained again in our aura, in our space. Deep breath, and you can come back whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for receiving that. Thank you for journeying with me. There were clearly a lot of you there, so I appreciate all that collective shared energy. Let's take a moment now to acknowledge on a scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel about what you had brought in as intentions? Note where you're at. I think my number has gone down for sure. And maybe write down also one word that gives you hope, possibility around this new story. Maybe a couple of words. I'm writing down a few. Mm, yeah, I feel like the next step that was right for us all was the playtime, is what I'm also feeling. But take the time right now. Take the time to acknowledge and journal. I'll also have a place for you to capture any feedback if you'd like to share. I know that if you'd love to go deeper in a much more personalized way, I have one-on-one sessions. I also do much more bite-sized, recorded, asynchronous, really, sessions over Voxer. So whatever might feel more supportive to go deeper, I have options as well, and I'll have those links around here. And if you feel complete with this, I'm sending you so much love and so much gratitude. Thank you for receiving.